Hi there. Today we're going to talk about length adjustments for pattern 1822. Once you've downloaded your pattern and put your pieces together, we need 3 pieces to complete this adjustment. You're going to need the front, the lower back and the centre front band. In addition to that, you're going to need some standard pattern making equipment. So when you're ready, let's get started. Let's start with shortening this pattern. I've traced around the lower back piece and you can see here the lengthen or shorten line. I've decided that I want to shorten this pattern by 2 inches, which is 5 centimetres. The first thing I need to do is draw a line parallel to my lengthen or shorten line. Now it doesn't matter whether you put it on this side or on this side, but generally because we want to shorten it, we'll put it on the higher side. So when you're ready, take your set square, and mine has centimetre markings on it or inches in it, and I'm going to draw a line parallel to that lengthen or shorten line 2 inches shorter. What we're going to do is remove this part of the pattern. Now it's up to you how you want to remove it. You could fold the pattern piece up so the lines join to each other, or you could cut through one of these and place it on top of the other and then tape it down. The last thing you need to do is just make sure that this edge is smoothed out with your pencil. So when you're ready and you've done that, our lower back piece is finished and we can move on to our front piece. To adjust the front piece, we do exactly the same that we did to the lower back. Here is our lengthen and shorten line. I've drawn a line parallel to it and we want to remove this area here. Then we want to lift up this pattern piece here and put it on top of this piece here. So you can match those lines by cutting and pasting, or you can fold this piece. Now when you fold this piece, you want to make sure that this line here is nice and smooth, and you might find that there's an adjustment here needed because of the angle. So if you need to, just slide some paper underneath this, any scrap paper is fine, and just redraw that curve in there. And when you're ready, let's move on to the centre front piece. So here is our centre front band piece, and you can see it's marked top. We need to shorten this piece in the correct position so that our notches will still match onto our front piece. So when you're ready, take this piece and place it so that top matches to the upper side and the hem areas are close together. So let's have a look and see how this pattern piece is sewn on. These 2 notches sew together like this. Now this is really important because we have a band at the bottom edge. So the area we're working on is between these 2 notches here. Now you might think it's just a matter of removing the 2 inches, the 5 centimetres between this area here, but it's actually not. Because of this angle here, and depending on how much you shorten it by, we might need to shorten this piece by a lot more. So what do? Well, the first thing we need to know is keep a note of where we want to shorten this between. So let's start the quick way. We just need to take out 2 inches in the correct place. Because this is a rectangle, it's really straightforward. Come to anywhere between these 2 notches, mark a line square from one side to the other, mark another line 2 inches, 5 centimetres, and then remove that. In the same way, you can either cut through it or fold it. That will work most of the time. To double check your adjustment is correct, what you'll need to do is just put the notches on top of each other and make sure the pattern works out. So to double check our pattern, here is our redrawn front that's shorter. And here is my centre front band that hasn't been adjusted yet. That matches to the top. The next notch matches. So does the next notch. Then if we come to the bottom, this notch here will match 6 mils up from the lower edge of the pattern piece. This notch here will match, and this is the area that we're adjusting. That's the area we're going to take the excess pattern paper from. So the final step in our process is just to make sure our pattern sews together properly through the side seam. So take your lower back piece, and remember there is a yoke, and we just want to make sure that when we've done any smoothing out, that is nice and smooth and that these pieces will still sew together nicely. To lengthen this pattern, we simply do everything I've talked about in reverse. So thanks for joining me, and I hope you can join me again soon.